It's Friday, November 11th, and this is Now on H&N.
The concern right now with our health systems is seeing them all at once.
With a spike in respiratory illnesses, Hawaii officials are urging precautions.
Votes in key races still being counted days after election night. I'm Natalie Brand, watching the contest that could determine the balance of power on Capitol Hill.
103rd ceremony to honor our veterans.
On this Veterans Day, Americans take the time to honor those who served in the U.S. military.
All these stories plus will take you to the Made in Hawaii Festival. That's coming up on This Is Now. Good afternoon. We have an awesome live picture to start off this Veterans Day. This is coming to us from DKI, so check this out. Some of our nation's heroes have returned to Honolulu after participating in the state's first ever honor flight. You're seeing that here in this live picture. They just landed about a half hour ago. This is quite the scene. I see the governor there as well. About 27 of Hawaii's veterans took part in the flight earlier this week. They were flown over to Washington, D.C., where they were able to take in some of the sights at the Capitol and reflect on their service. We'll be talking a lot more about Veterans Day and hopefully dip back into this live picture as they arrive to a lot of fanfare there at the airport. What a beautiful sight to see on this Veterans Day Friday.
Yeah, and I bet it was the trip of a lifetime for them too.
Yeah, I think so. But first, let's get to some other news.
That's right. The surge in severe RSV cases around the nation is being compounded by a second early spike, and the CDC confirms flu cases are also on the rise. Here's Maggie Vespa.
Pediatric hospitals across the country continue to be overwhelmed with severe cases of RSV. Bed occupancy rates nationally at 77%. Some states far higher than that. Arizona this week hitting 100%, meaning they're moving kids into the ICU and other adult wards. At the same time, now the CDC confirming, in addition to RSV, flu cases also surging, releasing new data this week showing 6,500 people across the country were admitted to the hospital because of the flu, also citing 3 pediatric flu deaths, leading a lot of people to wonder if that dreaded triple-demic that experts have been forecasting for weeks, if not months, is indeed coming to fruition. That would be a crippling combination, they say, of RSV, the flu, and COVID. So in the meantime, what can parents do? Well, experts say a lot of the old standbys still hold true. Get your flu shots and your COVID vaccines updated for you and your kids as soon as possible. If your kids show any symptoms, even if you're not sure what they might have, keep them home to help them avoid spreading illness to others. And of course, experts say the gold standard, plenty of hand washing.
Hawaii reported more than 2,000 RSV cases in the past 2 months, and officials believe that more cases are going undetected. Here's state epidemiologist Dr. Sarah Kimball.
I think one area of concern is whether or not we are seeing more severe disease from RSV this year. We're talking a lot with the hospitals about that. They say they're seeing a lot of admissions to the intensive care unit. So there's some concern that illness may be a little more severe this year. It's still early in the season to really see how that would play out, but one of the reasons for concern. Again, this is a really good reminder of why getting your shots for other respiratory diseases are really important for those diseases for which we do have vaccine, like COVID and influenza. That just takes those out of the equation so that you're less likely to end up in the hospital for those reasons, and allows our healthcare system to really focus on those who need the supportive care for RSV.
Kaiser's Moana Lua Medical Center says 90% of children admitted have RSV, but the center still has capacity. As votes are counted in close races, we're still waiting to learn which party will control the U.S. House and the Senate in the next Congress. Natalie Brand has more.
The campaigning hasn't stopped in Georgia, where incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker are now sprinting to a December 6th runoff.
They said we're in overtime. We're in overtime.
I did warn y'all that we might be spending Thanksgiving together.
It's a seat that could determine which party controls the U.S. Senate, depending on what happens with the two other outstanding Senate races. In Nevada, the race between incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto and Republican challenger Adam Laxalt has tightened as more votes get counted. Under Nevada law, counties can receive ballots postmarked by Election Day through Saturday.
Right now, based on what we saw in the vault this morning, we've got a little over 50,000 ballots that still need to be counted.
In Arizona, elections officials in Maricopa County are still working through a record number of early ballots dropped off on Election Day. The race between incumbent Senator Mark Kelly and Republican Blake Masters is still leaning Democratic. The U.S. House is leaning Republican.
Both chambers are poised to once again have very slim majorities. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy has already begun a campaign for Speaker.
So we'll see how much Kevin McCarthy, how much arm twisting or how many favors he has to do to get over the top to get his speakership.
The midterm elections have highlighted divisions within the Republican Party.
Many of Donald Trump's candidates lost, and a lot of people in the Republican Party are probably going to say, maybe he shouldn't be the head of our party if he's choosing candidates like this.
But the former president, hinting at 2024, has already sent out a formal notice for a big announcement next Tuesday. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, today is Veterans Day, and there was just a ceremony held at Punch Bowl. Here's a little of what happened.
Ready! Hey! Fire!
Whether you served for a short time your entire career or you're still wearing the cloth of our nation, your willingness to defend our way of life is recognized, appreciated, and noticed by all of us. While veterans represent less than 10% of the population, the love for this country and their willingness to sacrifice for their fellow Americans makes everything worthwhile.
And we want to take you live now again to DKI, where the group of veterans are returning home after a life-changing trip to Washington, D.C. Now, about 27 of our vets participated in the state's first honor flight. They were flown to our nation's capital to visit the memorials that were built in honor of their service. Now, you can see here they're getting handshakes from, that's Congressman Ed Case, Governor Ige, First Lady Dawn Ige, and I'm sure, you know, we're going to hear much more from Jelani Martinez coming up in later editions of HNN. She's going to talk to them about what that was like. And just for them to see these memorials that were, you know, a big part of, you know, they contributed to these
the reason why they're there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure it's a life-changing experience for all of them, and I can't wait to hear from them.
Not the only Veterans Day celebration that we have going on across the state. As you just saw there earlier at Punch Bowl, we also had a parade going on a bit earlier too, right?
Yeah, so after a pandemic shutdown, the Wahiawa Lions Veterans Day Parade back in person today. So the Lelehua High School Color Guard, the Royal Hawaiian Band, veterans, active duty military, and Gold Star families, they marched down California Avenue from Ka'ala School, and the parade's grand marshal was Vietnam veteran Staff Sergeant Florentino Acosta. He received a bronze medal for his service.
All right, we want to take you now to Guy Hoggy with a check of your very important weekend weather.
Tomorrow and through the weekend, we'll have passing showers. We'll be kind of dingy and showery and a little squishy at times through the weekend. Leeward sides, not so much. We still see a fair bit of sunshine as well, but you got to factor in the fact that we will see more showers this weekend than we've seen. Still, though, they will favor those windward sides. A beautiful Veterans Day. Yes, it's going to be windy, though. Remember, there's that wind advisory for the east end of the state. So today, 15 to 30 out of the north-northeast, ushering in cooler temperatures. Look at the temperatures today, 81, slightly warmer starting tomorrow. Again, scattered showers through the weekend. So factor in those showers when you plan your outdoor activities this weekend. And then on Monday, things change. We get lighter winds, warmer temperatures, as well as more sunshine. And those lighter winds, well, they'll hang on all the way through the latter part of next week. We could also see some afternoon clouds with higher humidity levels. And that's your 7-day forecast.
Well, there's a new exhibit in Chinatown that's merging the work of ocean researchers and artists. I had a chance to go to opening night.
To really showcase how science and art are truly in relationship with one another. They have a symbiotic relationship.
The new show at the Arts at Mark's Garage is a first-of-its-kind endeavor for the University of Hawaii Sea Grant College program.
We collaborated with 3 artists, and each of them created multiple pieces that cover different stories of resilience.
It's a relationship that's been around for some time, but really hasn't seen much acknowledgement.
And it dates back to, the first method that we had to describe species was simply to record them as human beings with pen and pencil or what have you, but to draw them out and then to be able to compare those drawings as opposed to today where we have so much technology that aids us in those endeavors.
This artist was inspired by the transformation some Hawaii waters saw during the pandemic when many marine ecosystems healed and began to thrive once again.
Hanauma Bay. So now there's been changes based on that response of just giving that space a break, but still making it accessible for people and visitors to see and interact with marine life.
Other works are meant to show the impact of coral bleaching. Painter Shanae Tam said the partnership had her thinking of her artistic process in new ways.
My takeaway is to let go of all the control that I think I have and let other elements inform my paintings, like the environment, the people, especially the place that I'm honoring.
What the artist can do in a very different way than a scientist can do is help us better understand how form and function interrelate. And that's the magic of both. I think that's the magic of art and it's the magic of science.
The show runs through November 25th and it's free.
So really making it accessible, really trying to take down that barrier, those pedestals that have to do with academic research, and making it fun and creative.
Now on the next 2 Mondays, Sea Grant is hosting a special Science by the Sea seminar series. This is where graduate fellows have a chance to share their research and stories with the public. Doors open at 6 p.m.
Nimesh Patel is a comedian who has opened for Chris Rock and has written for Saturday Night Live and the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He has 2 shows, one tonight and tomorrow at Blue Note Hawaii, and he was on Sunrise this morning to talk about it.
Hey, Nimesh, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me. Good.
Yeah.
I'm actually here for a guy's job. That's why I'm here.
That's why it's very contentious.
Yeah.
Opposite sides.
Far away.
Holy smokes. Anyway, best weather on the planet. You pick a good time to come.
I know. I mean, it's incredible. Every time I look outside, I'm like, why not just move here? But I hear that you guys don't like it if people move here.
No, that's not true.
Just you. We just don't like you.
Fair enough.
Attack our weather. We take the good ones, though. We take the good ones.
Thank you very much, man. Hawaii's been amazing. I can't wait to spend. I'm going to be here for a week, but yeah, shows tomorrow night and tonight and tomorrow night, Blue Note.
Yeah. Do you look at the weather across the country? Where did you come from before this?
I've been on tour for like 2 years now almost. So I was in DC last Saturday.
Oh, man.
And then went to Vegas and then went to Utah and then now I'm here. So I've had the whole rut of weather, like every weather system I've experienced, Vegas was perfect. Utah was Utah. And now I'm here, paradise.
Well, soak this in, man. Enjoy it.
I can't wait.
So, Nimesh, for people that don't know about your background, how would you describe your comedy?
My comedy's pretty social, political. Like if I had my druthers, I'd be talking about the governor of Hawaii right now. I know you guys have some beef with him, but yeah, I actually want to run here. My first order of operations here, if I were to become governor, would be kick Larry Ellison off the island. Sorry, Larry. What are you gonna do?
Well, he's right over there. Sorry about that, Larry.
But yeah, it's all over the spectrum right now. Right now, the current hour I'm working on is deeply personal. I can't reveal what it's about, but I promise you, it's nothing you're expecting. I built this career off of, stand-up, but I've done like the last 2 years of tour. I've been on TikTok.
Yeah.
And as a slight shout out to TikTok, my last special is called "Thank You China." I know it's never been said before in Hawaii, but I love China. China is the best.
Well, this is actually your second time in Hawaii. Do you have any fun free time that you get to do this time around?
The last time I was here was the first time I ever shot a gun.
In Hawaii,
in Hawaii,
at a range.
Yeah, at a range. Yeah, no, just not on the streets. No. And I walked.
And he's back.
That's what I meant. No, I was walking down, and there was like a sign for a gun range. I was like, yo, let's go shoot a gun. And I walked upstairs. And the first, I picked a 22 out to shoot, and the lady made fun of me. She's like, "What kind of man are you?"
That little thing.
Crocodile
and you know what? And I'm pretty anti-gun, but when I shot that thing, I was like, you know what? The hype is real.
I get it.
I felt a little movement down there. I was like, oh, this is cool. I like it. But yeah, no, I want to take in everything Hawaii has to offer while I'm here this time for sure. Go surfing. I've never been surfing, but.
There's going to be some fun tourist-sized surf for you while your stay is here. It's going to be a little bit windy, but you're going to enjoy the best weather on the planet. And you know you're avoiding this big winter rush that's coming into parts of the mainland. Utah will be freezing by tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Utah's got a lot of problems. Worse, you know what's crazy? That what I noticed here is just last night, Hawaii is, some of the best fish on the planet.
Sure. Oh, man, yes.
There's a line outside a Cheesecake Factory. I'm like, what are y'all doing? It's like the best sushi in the world is across the street. You eat poke for $15.
We're on the same page, bro.
I'm like, why are you eating cheese? I like Cheesecake Factory. Don't get me wrong, Cheesecake
But
is
you're
great.
well in Hawaii.
Yeah.
We do want to let everybody know we do love Utah. And we love the people of Utah. Just
Powder Mountain, man. I'm in on Powder Mountain.
The people of Utah are great. They just need cooking lessons. That's all it is.
So the shows are tonight and tomorrow.
Tonight and tomorrow, 6:30 and 9 o'clock, Blue Note Hawaii. Yes, please come check it out. It's going to be a great time.
Oh, awesome. Well, if this is any indication, it definitely will be.
Thank you very much, guys.
If you want more information about the concert, it's hawaiinewsnow.com.
Now we want to toss things over to Entertainment Tonight's Kevin Frazier with a wrap-up of everything that went down at the CMA Awards.
Aloha, Jonathan. From Carrie Underwood to Katy Perry, the CMA Awards brought together music's biggest stars, and they kicked the night off with a moving tribute. Carrie, Miranda Lambert, and Reba McEntire opened the show with a medley of songs by the late Loretta Lynn, the first woman to ever win the show's top prize, Entertainer of the Year. Carrie also took the stage to debut her new song, Hate My Heart, and another debut, Katy Perry's first ever CMA performance. She joined Thomas Rhett for their pop country collab, Where We Started.
And the CMA Award for Album of the Year goes, come on, Luke Combs.
Luke had a big night with 2 wins, including Entertainer of the Year, to tie with the night's other big winner.
And the CMA Award for New Artist of the Year goes to Lainey Wilson.
Rising star Lainey also walked away with Female Vocalist of the Year, and we let her know backstage that she's in very good company.
No one has done this since 2006. Carrie Underwood took home New Artist and Female Vocalist of the Year. You're following in her footsteps.
That's crazy.
So,
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is the best night of my life, I'll tell you that. Thank you.
Hey, and make sure you tune into ET tonight because we are with Will Ferrell. Is he ready to bring back Buddy the Elf for Entertainment Tonight? I'm Kevin Frazier.
Better be.
What
Everyone
does that
loves
mean?
Buddy.
Like a
Elf?
sequel?
Yeah, I hope so. I love that movie.
Yes, me too.
Yes, all right. So we love these stories as well. There's an awesome auction out there. This is from Julian's Icon and Idols Rock and Roll Sale, although not all the items are rock and roll. We'll get to that in a second. So we got these John Lennon glasses, which are estimated to go up for as much as $80,000. We got Amy Winehouse's Beehive hair topper. We also got some other items, including some from Prince, which I think it's going to transition to maybe right there. 1992 Kurt Nelson Cloud Model electric guitar. There's other items that include LL Cool J's custom painted denim coat. That is some airbrush action there. That looks awesome. And then also a really expected to go very high Kurt Cobain's Smash guitar. It's estimated to go for as much as $400,000.
Wow.
And then, oops, didn't mean to do that, but this is what I was trying to get to. Not a musical item, but Steve Jobs personally owned and worn pair of brown suede leather Birkenstocks. Gross.
Those are so gross.
No, I would. That is not an item. I don't care who wore them.
Yeah.
I would want. Birkenstocks get nasty. Yeah. Really do.
Well, another thing that's cool that's going up for auction, this rare T-Rex skull could become one of the most valuable fossils ever. So it's expected to fetch a whopping $20 million. The skull's named Maximus, and it's one of the most complete of its kind ever found. It's a little under 7 feet tall, so it's huge, and weighs 200 pounds. This adult dinosaur was discovered in South Dakota. Maximus goes on auction next month in New York.
All right. If you're looking to shop and you can't afford those auction items, there's a great place you can check out right there at Ala Moana Center. The Made in Hawaii Festival is back, and Billy V is there with this report.
Thank you very much. It's very exciting here on the third floor of the parking deck in the Ewa wing of Ala Moana Center. It's the Made in Hawaii Festival. We're talking story with Olena Hugh, who's the spokesperson for the festival this weekend. Thank you for joining us. How many people are you expecting here this weekend?
Well, roughly we may be expecting about 30,000 over the span of 3 days.
Now, you've already sold out of the daily passes for today, correct?
Right, so you can get a 2-hour timed entry pass, or you can get an in and out for the whole day. And so the in and out is sold out for Friday, but we have lots of tickets available for the rest of the weekend. We'll be open from 10 to 6 on Friday, and 9 to 6 on Saturday, and 9 to 5 on Sunday.
Let's talk about the different kinds of vendors, because you've got some of the things that are new. One of them has to do with beverages.
Yes. We actually have beverage or alcohol sampling this year, and we're going to be providing some local ciders, Kona Brewing, Lani Kai Brewing, and things of that sort. So you can actually, if you're 21 and older, imbibe in a little tasting. We'll also be offering tasting of food. We'll have chef's demos as well with some of Hawaii's most revered and honored chefs in the state, and live entertainment all weekend long.
Not to mention the Kanikapila Grill Talent Search, which I'll be at tomorrow. If somebody wants more information on everything that's happening here, where did they get that?
Go to madeinhawaiifestival.com. It's timed entry for your ticket, so if you show up, you might not be able to get in at that time, so you have to do it in advance. So go to madeinhawaiifestival.com, pick the time that you want to come on down and shop your heart away.
All right, Olena, thank you very much. Once again, the excitement continues here, and they actually have more vendors than they did have last year. So a lot of happy people, a lot of happy vendors ready to welcome people this weekend. From Ala Moana Center, I'm Billy V. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Billy V. Always a fun one.
Yeah, one last thing, some more Twitter drama. So Twitter's new the paid checkmark system they touted by Elon Musk was suspended today with little warning. Now, it comes just 2 days after the official launch sparked a wave of accounts impersonating high-profile figures and organizations, so it's not immediately clear when Twitter might restore the program. So if you remember, the blue check marks used to mean someone's they've been identified as a verified user under a free system. Well, under this new system, it's basically become a paid subscriber badge. So apparently a separate gray official badge was introduced this week, and that was launched to help users differentiate legitimate celebrity and brand accounts from those that merely just paid for the blue check. Well, hours later, Musk apparently tweeted he killed that feature too. So Twitter's just confusing these days, guys.
It's always been confusing to me, but now even more so.
Too many checks.
Yeah. Is it losing its brand loyalty? I would think so after all this mess, that's for sure. All right, guys, take you live outside. We are still monitoring that arrival ceremony for that honor flight on this Veterans Day. We are going to show you a lot more of that as the actual speaking ceremony gets underway, coming up in just about 4 minutes on our extended feed of This Is Now. That's on your H&N digital platforms. Ashley's back first at 4 on KHNL.